Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're down at the pond and we got a problem. Something that's been going on for, I don't know, a month and a half now that I just noticed, and not sure what we're going to do about it yet, but I'll show you what's going on. So if we look out here, and you see a lot of stumps and growth out there in the pond, and I can tell you what the deal is on that here in just a second. But you can see where that water level, I don't know if you can see the grass there, is normally up. It's probably down, I don't know, 2-3 feet right now. Normally water would be coming in here, and it's kind of growed up here right now, but you can see there's a drain tile right in here. It's like one of those, I don't know, 18-20 inch corrugated pipes. So the water rises up, runs through here and out there on the other side of the dam down into the creek. And I'll go over here and show you a little closer. That's not the original drainage system that was added back around the year 2000. This pond was originally built in the early 50s by my dad and some other guys, and it's about a 2-acre pond, and that's the shallow end. The far end is the shallow end. Down here where you see that concrete structure out there, it's the deeper end. It's probably, I don't know, 15 to 18 feet down here. The other end's not, you can probably walk across. The other end is probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet deep at the shallowest part there. It was back in the late 80s that we lost this pond. We had a hurricane with, I don't know, 8 or 10 inches of rain, and I'll show you what happened to the concrete structure that was the original drainage system. So anyway, let's move over there and I'll show you. Okay, so I'm up on the dam now and looking out into the water. You see this, what's left of this concrete structure, and what we called that was the chimney. So that was totally enclosed, like a rectangular box there. I don't know, it's probably 4 foot across, 5 foot across, 3 feet wide. And so what happened, as the water level rose, the water spilled over the concrete. We had a big metal grate that went on top of that, with, like, I don't know, 2x2 holes or whatever, that the water drained down into, and that would catch, a lot of the bigger debris, sticks, and things of that nature, so it wouldn't stop up the pipe. And that white pipe was not originally there. So the water drained down the chimney, and then at the bottom of the chimney, running in this area here from the chimney, under the dam, is the drain tile. So the water would spill over the chimney, down into the bottom, and then run through the drain tile, through the dam, down into the creek. So of course, when we had all the rain, over time, that being from the 50s, about 40 years old, the concrete and the mortar had decayed, got weak, the pressure caved in one of the walls, and that's where we lost it. Pretty much all the water drained out. Sat here for, I don't know, about 15 years, didn't do anything with it, and that's how all the growth got in there, with all the stumps that you see now were trees that were growing, and then of course when we did fill it back up, a lot of that stuff died out. So it makes a wonderful place for the fish to raise and be able to hide and all that good stuff. It's not the easiest place to maneuver around on a boat or fish. Of course, when the water's up to normal level, the water would be even with the top of that concrete wall there. So you can see we're a good couple feet down, and a lot of this stuff would be underwater or just barely peeking out of the water. But anyway, what we have had happen here, and this originally, so what they did to get this thing back, they went to the bottom of this chimney and concreted the drain tile. It's a concrete tile. It almost looks like tile that you would put under your driveway. It's fitted together. I assume that they cemented the joints together. I'm not certain. I wasn't around at that time. But anyway, they had to do something, to keep the joints from leaking here in the water exposed part. So anyway, they sealed up this end of it and buried the pipe, down in the corner that we looked at a while ago. And so anyway, that has worked fine for years. But I will say this, when they initially sealed it up, they did have a little bit of water. We'll go on the other side of the dam and you'll see running out of that tile. So in other words, somewhere between this old chimney and the bank here, we were getting a leak. That water was leaking into that original drain tile and then running out the other end. So let's go up here and I'll show you what they attempted to do to stop that. Now this dam, it's an old power pole that was down here at one point when it was doing irrigating. This dam is quite steep. So I don't know, this is probably a 25, 30 foot drop down this hill. So it's quite a large dam. So we get down here to the back side of the dam, looking back up the hill there, and there you can see what we got. So you can see the original concrete tile there. And so what they did, they came to down here and said, okay, we'll just seal up the tile on this end. And they put these PVC pipes in there as an auxiliary way to drain the pond if you ever needed it. And then the pipe up top was an auxiliary drain, or an overflow drain was the intention, you know, to the new one that they buried in the corner. So they came down here and they plugged these two pipes. Said, okay, problem solved, we won't have any more leakage. Well, guess what? Water's gonna find a way. So then, through, I guess, the joints of this old tile under the dam, water started slowly seeping out between the tile and the bottom of the dam. So of course, you know, can't let that happen because you're going to eventually erode the whole dam out. So at the time this was done, it was not a bad leak at all. It wasn't even a fourth of what you see there. So we just left it open and let that little bit of water just drain out here all the time. Still, there was enough water. There are 3 natural springs and a little creek that feed into the mouth of this pond. So there was always enough makeup water that what we were losing, it was making it back up. But now, I don't know if that hole has just gotten larger over time. There may be tree roots involved that's spreading some things open. And now we're losing more water than we're making up. So you can see it drains down the little creek, you know, down through the woods. So what to do? Obviously with all the dirt here, and getting an excavator in here is not going to be an easy task. So let's go back up top and we'll talk about what we're thinking about. So folks, this is the product that we have purchased in order to see what it can help us with as far as this pond leak. Product called Damit. I think it's made by an Australian company, Shalex, S-H-A-L-E-X. When I ordered it, I believe it shipped out of Tennessee, so I guess they have a U.S. warehouse or whatever. But anyway, it's this, you know, powder-like substance that you spread over the water, turns into a gel polymer substance that you know, is supposed to be non-toxic to the fish, and you know, supposed to float down in the water, grab up debris, whatever, seek out the hole and plug it. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Don't know. There's several videos on YouTube about it. You know, I don't know, it's about 50-50. Some people said it worked and definitely helped, and others said it, you know, didn't do anything. So I don't know, I guess it just depends on your situation, and ours is definitely a little different here with this leak. It's not necessarily the, you know, the leak we have is not running through the dam like through the dirt. It's more of a pipe, an old pipe that was a part of the old drainage system. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll put it out and I'll report back. Alright, y'all take care. Okay folks, pond leak update. It's been about 2 weeks since I made the initial video, you know, explaining about this pond leaking and, you know, really not knowing what we were going to do. And I mentioned in there I was going to try that product Damit, and I did. I ordered a pail it out It was about, I don't know, 257 bucks. So I figured, you know, give it a shot. Put that out, 2 different applications. After a week or so, no change. I said, well, you know, failed attempt. But came down here about 3 days ago, so a little over a week and a half into when I applied it, and the leak is significantly less than it was. We were probably getting 5 times that much water. I'll try to put a video side by side comparing the 2 together. So I don't know if it just took a while for it to work its way into the leak or what, but that's good news. So I can live with that leak right there. That was probably when this thing was initially sealed from the other end. We probably had that much leak in the beginning, and then it just got worse over time. So we'll see what happens after some time. I may order a second batch and, you know, reapply it at some point, but you know, with the way this pond is set up, I've definitely got more water feeding into the pond at the mouth of it. 3 natural springs and a creek that's going out. So hopefully over the next few weeks here with that, and then maybe, you know, get some rains, we'll see the water level in the pond rise. So anyway, good news. I'll report back later. Down at the pond, just another little update with the project where we're trying to stop the leak. So it's been about a week since we noticed that the leak had significantly reduced from the you know, Damit product that we put in there. Oh, I guess it's been almost a month now since we initially treated it with the product. I wanted to show you how this pond gets its makeup water, so to speak. It has a couple of natural springs that are kind of at the bottom of a hill. And I'll show you the setup on that. Spencer and I got a project this weekend. We're going to try to clean those things out. So I'm at the end of the pasture here. This is the pasture that you've seen me do some filming in before, where you know, had the yellow jackets and what I call the old pasture up there. That White House was my dad's house where I was raised. So this thing is a pretty good slope coming down the hill, and down kind of in this valley behind these trees here is where the pond is. So at the bottom of this hill, I'll show you, we just cleared a path in here. This had how it kind of growed up. I remember coming down here as a kid. So you can see what we got right here is a natural spring. Now, that tile was put in there when they initially dug this pond and had this supply of water here feeding in the mouth of it. There were 3 of these that I guess they dug out like a little mini well that's about 3 foot deep right there. And then there's another piece of tile here that once we clean this thing out, we're going to set that other piece of tile on top. And that was done to keep the animals out. You could put a cover over it, you know, keep the leaves, debris, and just through years of neglect, that hasn't been done for many years, and you can't really see it that well now. But down in there, oh, there went a frog. Down in there, there's a lot of mud and goop. I remember as a kid, used to look down in there and it was just a sandy bottom with water just bubbling up out of the sand. So Spencer's going to bring home one of those trash pumps that he can get from work, and we're going to pump out that sludge and mud and everything that's in there, and hopefully get this thing running better. I mean, it's doing pretty good right now. You can see that little trail right there that runs out through these wooded area, these trees, and goes into the pond. So there were 3 of these, and then there's another little small creek that feeds into the pond. So it always has a supply of water. Never had a problem with it, you know, getting too low until we had this leak issue. So I can actually see over the last week, since we, you know, slowed the leak down significantly, the water has stopped dropping and has actually come back up a tiny bit. I've found 2 of these. One I cannot find. You can see it's real wet over in that area. I thought that was it right there, but it's a little hole I dug out. I've been trying to poke around with a shovel and a metal rod to see if I could hit the piece of tile that's in the ground, but no luck yet. So I might end up cutting some more of this stuff out here and I want to say I remember as a kid these things were like, there were like 3 right in a row, but I'll take you over here and show you the other one. So there's the second one. I don't know if you can see that tiles down in there. So we're gonna, you've got these pieces of tile laying over here. We're gonna pump that mud out, and there you can see the trail of water running out of this one, runs down and ties into the other one, and then it all goes out into the mouth of the pond. I just got to try to find that third one. I don't know. I got several patches of water around. So regardless of where it's at, there's water just running out of the ground here on the bottom of this hill constantly, which is a good thing. That keeps you know, the water going into the pond year round. But these springs, as far as I know, have been running like this naturally since well, who knows how long, but I know for sure since the 50s is when they put these tiles in there. Anyway, just trying to get them back. It's just my fault over the years to neglecting these, because we never had a problem with the pond getting low or anything, so I really never gave them much thought. So another quick pond update. Since you know, putting the Damit product in, and it seems to have reduced the leak significantly. We had some rain yesterday, and as you can see, that rod right there was just out of the water until this rain. Had about 1.5 inches of rain, so it's definitely brought the water level up. So we're going to see if that maintains. I may mark a second rod there just to see if it, you know, where we are now, and you know how much the, you know, springs that draining here are affecting it, and you know, if we're putting more in than we're taking out, that kind of thing. Anyway, catch back with you later. All right, everybody, good morning. Back down at the pond this morning. Spencer, he should be here shortly. We're going to attempt to put these tiles on these wells, or on these spring wells, what do you want to call them. Had some more rain last night. Pond's still coming up, so we're looking good there. I got some rigging here with a chain. I don't know if this is going to work, if it's going to slide off. On this particular one, I need that beveled in to be at the bottom, so we'll see if that may slide off. I may have to come up with a different plan. But anyway, going to be making use of the old 3-point multi-tool today, boom pole. So the idea is to back under there with this hook this chain we got on the middle here, which is, you know, hooked to the chain that's wrapped around it, and set it on there. So we'll see. This will be the last, hopefully the last segment of this pond video where we're trying to stop the leak. Oh yeah, there she goes. Looking, man, that water looks like you could just drink it. Very clear. Yeah, looks really good down in there. So anyway, we'll get set up here and see if we can get some footage of this. Get over the hose. Hold up before you close it. Couldn't quite get that thing squared up on there. I think the ring is a tad bit bigger than the towel. But anyway, the goal, that's to accomplish the goal. We can cover it, keep the trash out. We still got the water running at a real good rate coming out of there. All right, fence, there's a top I made. Should fit right over there. There we go. All right, we'll grab us a couple rocks from the pile over there and lay on that just so it don't, wind won't flip it off or whatever. So anyway, all right, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, folks, project complete. We've got two of the original 3 springs that were dug out and toweled, recovered with tops to keep the leaves and sticks and everything else out. So hopefully now these will continue to feed water in the mouth of the pond, and you can see that's running at a pretty good rate. And then down there, that one tees into the other one, and we still got to try to find the third one. I just don't remember exactly where it was, because I got one more towel up here that it definitely had 3, but I don't know. Maybe get all this stuff right here cleaned out and we'll see if we can find it. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the pond repair video. As I said, maybe in the spring, if everything continues to hold, we'll maybe get another bucket of the Damit product, since it's you know, it stopped the leak, I don't know, 80 or 90% right now. So water level is definitely not falling anymore. So still got a good ways to go to get back to where it was originally, but we're getting there. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that. So, you know, as far as where I could recommend that product, it worked for me. I've seen a lot of, you know, people that said it didn't work. So I don't know, I guess it just depends on your situation. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. Catch you next time.